several times when our investors are about to decide on which estate to buy, which property to buy, which land to buy, they usually compare the prices. Okay, this one is 2 million, this one is 3 million, this one is 1 million, this one is 1.5 million, for them to make a decision. But I've realized that a lot of people don't really put consideration into the statutory fees of these estates when they are deciding which of these estates should they buy or which of these estates should they not buy. Now, what I mean by statutory fees are the payment for deed of assignment, the payment for survey, and also the payment for development levy. So in this episode of Meet the Property Guy, I'll be giving you reasons why you should be careful of statutory fees when you are about to decide to buy a property here in Lagos. For those coming across a video like this for the first time and you haven't seen any video on our channel before, this Meet the Property Guy property channel, and it will discuss everything real estate for avid investors, first-time investors, and beginners who are about to start investing in real estate. We share tips, guides, and advice on what to buy, where to buy, locations, land documents, titles, risk assessment, location assessment, and at times we also put location side by side just to ensure that you are maximizing your investments, and also different ways for you to avoid losing money when you are investing in real estate. So after watching this particular video, this particular guide, I also suggest you also go to our different playlists. I have a playlist on real estate companies, playlist on shortlet, playlist on land documents. You are definitely going to learn a lot by going through the videos under this playlist. So let's go into the topic, why you should be careful of statutory fees when you are about to buy a property here in Lagos. Now, as always, I won't be mentioning company names and I won't be mentioning estate names, but I'll be giving you practical examples for why you should be looking at the statutory fees when you are about to buy a property. Now, if I show you a property in Ibadan and I tell you that this particular estate is selling for 950k, and this particular property or this particular estate is selling for 650,000 per plot, I'm very sure 70% or 80% of you investors are going to go for the one for 650k per plot because it's cheaper and it's Ibadan. It's the same location anyway. But then when we now look at the statutory fees of the one selling for 950k per plot, the statutory fee altogether is 800,000, which means that all inclusive the land is 1,750,000 for the one for 950k per plot. Whereas the one that is selling for 650k per plot, the all inclusive fee, when you add the statutory fees is like 1,350,000. So all inclusive, the one selling for 650,000 is 2 million naira. Whereas it's the one for 650,000 most of you guys are buying. So these are the things you need to look at. And for some of you guys that have already reached me on WhatsApp or that are following me on WhatsApp and that have reached out to me sometimes about inquiries about what we sell or what we have available, I don't even bother explaining. Really, I don't bother. But once I show you the option, I decide that this one is cheaper, I only go for the one that's cheaper. Good luck. So it's not just about cheaper in terms of price. You need to always consider these statutory fees. Real estate companies are smart, and because they have realized that a lot of you investors are just about something cheap, basically, even despite all my warnings that you're just about something cheap. So they put up this price there, 650,000, and another one put its price there, 950,000, and all of you guys are rushing to buy the one of 650,000, forgetting and ignoring the fact that you are still paying 1,350,000 as statutory fees. Whereas the one for 950,000, the statutory fees is just 800,000. And that's why you should always listen to our advice. Let your realtor advise you. They are the one on ground. They are the one on ground. So this is a practical example of why you should be careful about these statutory fees. And this is just one example. I'm just going to give you two more examples. Now, the second example, there is a land in Mowe selling for 1.5 million naira for a plot. And there's another land at that same Mowe also selling for 2 million naira per plot. Which one will you go for? It's pretty example now. It's pretty straightforward now. I'll go for the one for 1.5 million per plot. At least it's saving me 500,000. It's the same area, the same location, and pretty the same title also, C of O. Whereas the land selling for 2 million naira per plot, the statutory fee is 750,000, which means all inclusive the land is 2,750,000. Now the one selling for 1.5 million naira per plot, the statutory fees is 1.5 million naira, which means that all inclusive the land is 3 million naira for a per plot. So you can see that when you add the ancillary fees, the one selling for 2 million naira per plot is actually cheaper than the one that is selling for 1.5 million naira per plot. This is what you guys don't know, and that's why whenever you are interested in any property, they send you the FAQ. Always go to the statutory fees. Although a lot of companies right now are encouraging and tilting towards all-inclusive prices. Itunu Residential, Itunu City is all-inclusive. Dukia by Evermark is all-inclusive. Isimi by Landway is all-inclusive. And some other properties like that are pretty all-inclusive. So you don't have to really worry about the breakdown of what's the development levy, what is the digital assignment and whatever. And that's what I prefer. Basically, that's what I prefer. Even a property that I co-partnered in Ekpe, the price that we are also selling is also all-inclusive too. So, but if the price is not all-inclusive, is important. Is particularly if you are doing comparison, if you are looking at 2, 3, 4 options for you to decide, it's important for you not to only look at the price of the property, but also for you to look at the cost or the price of the statutory fees. What is the cost for deed of assignment? What is the cost for survey? What is the cost for development levy? You need to include all this into your comparison. So you can see that in this second example, the land for 2 million naira per plot is actually cheaper than the land for 1.5 million naira per plot. It's quite odd, but it's happening. So let's go into the third example. So the third example is a land in Ekpe, 2 lands in Ekpe. Now one is facing the Ekpe Talking Road, selling for 1.5 million naira per plot, and around that same axis K2 Ekpe also, another land is selling for 850k. Buy 6 get 1 free. I usually avoid those kind of buy 6 get 1 free anyway. Now, so it's pretty simple. 850k, 1.5 million, and both are at K2. Oh yeah, let me go and buy the one at 850k now. At least if I buy like 3 plots, it will save me some few bucks. But again, when you add the ancillary and statutory fees, the scenario changes. Now the one selling for 1.5 million naira per plot facing the road, the statutory fees is basically like around 650k. All inclusive, the land is 2,150,000. All inclusive, 2,150,000. Now, but the land selling for 850k per plot, only the development levy is 750,000. Only development levy is 750,000. So the total ancillary fee is basically like around 1,100,000. 1,100,000. So when you add 1,100,000 to 850k, that's basically like around 1,950,000, and it's not facing the road. It's inside before you are going to access it. But a lot of you guys go for the one for 850k, assuming it's cheaper, but that's not the case. Because if you buy the one for 2,150,000 all inclusive, is facing the road, your property is definitely going to appreciate faster, higher than the one that you are buying at 850k, 1,900,000 all inclusive. So it's not just about looking at the price of a property. I've got numerous inquiries looking for land of 500k in Ekpe per plot, looking for land of 700k in Ekpe per plot, looking for land of 850k in Ekpe per plot. Most times I just avoid these inquiries, like I'm not interested. Because most of this land that are selling at this price, these real estate companies are very, very smart. They are going to jack up the ancillary fees as high as possible. That's where they are going to make. That's where they are going to make you in terms of returns. And that's where the bad buzz mostly happen with your clients when they start telling you, how will I pay 50k for land and pay season or something for development levy, or 1 million for development levy? Most times they put all these in the FAQ. Frequently asked question, they put it, and in the contract of sale it will be there too. So there is no battle you want to battle with the company. They are going to win you. Yes, you tell them is you want your refund, and they are saying to deduct like 30% from it. Your agent will lose. So stop comparing properties based on prices only. See, comparing based on price is a bad way to compare properties. I usually say it on my channel, looking at property 1, 2, 3, and you're looking at the price to compare them. No, the question you should be asking is, why is this one selling at this price? Why is this one selling at this price? And why is this one selling at this price? Because I can guarantee you, accessibility to these properties won't be the same. The statutory fees that you are going to spend on these properties won't be the same, and sometimes the documentation fee, that's what you are going to spend on this property to perfect the title. Maybe one is freehold, another one is agric, maybe one is registered surveyor, another one is CFO. So the cost of perfection will also not be the same, and that's why some of these properties are always cheaper and some are higher. So don't only look at the price when you are comparing properties, and that's why even me personally, I'm tilting towards all-inclusive properties, because it's like those ones saves a lot of headache these days. Even the property that you are buying right now, that's maybe the property is 2 million, all-inclusive is 2,750,000, the development levy is 500,000. See, if you don't pay that development levy, you can come in 2 years time or 3 years time, and the company can tell you that that development levy have moved from 500,000 to 1 million naira, and it's that 1 million naira that you are going to pay. Because all these real estate companies have become very smart to put it in their contracts that development levy is subject to review. I know some of you guys don't check it. It has put me in trouble very well, so I'm not going to be doing that mistake again. So in the contract is always there, development levy is subject to review. Once they review that development levy and you have not paid it, you'll be paying the current rate. So that's why you should actually be very, very careful about the statutory fees. When you also want to buy a property, you should always consider what are the other fees are included. Even sometimes it may not even be the other fees in terms of deed of assignment, development levy. The other fees can be what you are going to spend to renovate the property, what you are going to spend to demolish the property, what you are going to spend to repair some certain things in the property, what you are going to spend to perfect the document on the property, what you are going to spend to sandfill the property. All these ancillary fees, all these statutory fees, apart from the cost of the land, must also be included in your financial plan. So you don't buy a land of 5 million and then eventually when you pay development levy, pay statutory fees, sandfill, do all these things, you have already spent 10 million on the property and it's 5 million you bought the land. So these are the reasons why you should always be mindful, careful about the other fees attached. There will always be other fees attached to a property. Even if you buy from Omonile, you will pay lawyer, you will pay surveyor, you will pay fencing. When you want to fence, you will pay clearing. So you also have to be mindful about those other fees too, so that you don't get into a transaction and then you get stuck. So if you have further questions about these different properties, these different estates, these different locations, and you want to know which of these properties have a much more modest or affordable statutory fees, maybe you are comparing 2 properties, 3 properties, and you want to know which one have a better ancillary fee or better statutory fee, you can drop a comment. Yeah, you can drop a comment here. It's not all estate I know, but at least the popular ones, I'm pretty familiar with the popular ones, the popular brands, the popular companies, the popular developers, and I can advise you that, oh, this one has a better ancillary fee, this one have a higher ancillary fee, go for this one, no go for this one, depending on your objective. Definitely. So assuming your property on the planet, your property advisor, your property consultant, if this video have saved you, if this video I just did have saved you, give me a thumb like. Give me a thumb like, share this video. Because I'm very sure a lot of you guys have not really been careful about looking at these statutory fees. Just look at the price now, okay, give me 3 plots, give me 5 plots, and you don't really start to calculate what you are going to spend extra, what you are going to pay extra after paying that 950k or paying that 800k. So if you have saved you with this video, give me a thumb like and kindly share this video. And if you have not subscribed yet, come on, you've been learning for free. I'm not charging you. My video will still become premium. I'm working on some softwares right now, and my video will become premium. You are going to pay before you can watch my video. So now that you are still watching it for free, subscribe so that you don't miss any of our videos. And because if I'm making it premium, I might consider just making it free for my subscribers. So subscribe. All right, thanks once again, and see you next time.